Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines 2, where my voice is not great today. My illness is still hanging on, unfortunately, and it's doing a bit of a number on my voice. But we gotta get going, we gotta get this video done, so let's proceed. We are currently building down over this way, and I would like to just take this road, basically just straight up at this point. The question is, how much of an angle is this going to be at, right? Just how bent is this going to be? And I think that the way that we should check that is out over here. So if we just extend this road straight up, like all the way up here, right? That is where the angle is, apparently. Okay. So we zoom all the way out here so we can get a bit of a view of what this will end up looking like. Around here-ish, it's definitely at a little bit of an angle. But I think it's reasonably close. Okay, where is it at? Obviously not out over here. Where's that angle? There it is. Okay, so this is definitely at a pretty decent angle. We can see that over the course of this entire region, this is definitely spread out quite a lot. Because if we look down here, right, we can see it's about there. So it's approximately 1 square away from where this is right here. If we go all the way up, then we can see we are angling, it should be about right here, or so. Maybe about here. But the actual angle snap point is here. This is obviously way too far away. So I'm just going to put it about right here or so, but let's turn snapping back on, and let's snap it to the zone grid, and just put it there. That should be approximately, in theory, correct. No, it shouldn't. What am I talking about? Okay, I conflated two different things. Okay, clearly I'm not thinking straight right now. It might have something to do with the illness. Let's try this again. We bring this up. I was comparing this position up here with this position down below. Okay, so where is the actual angle snap point here? This is still way off. The actual point where this should be is about here. Like that. That's the actual point that this should be at. In theory, anyway. So let's just bring this guy over. It looks like there is a little bit of an angle to it, but it shouldn't actually be that big of a deal. So now we can bring this guy all the way up. And that will, of course, end up being right about here. Excellent. So that should be relatively straight. Then 112, and we bring this on down. That should connect directly in here, and it does. Although we do get an overlapping item. What are we overlapping? Oh, it'll be this. Sure, we can definitely get rid of that. Out to there, anyway. Okay, so we can extend this road directly down. And that'll end up going right there. This road goes up and should result in being approximately up over here. Where's that snap point? There it is. Okay, so we'll bring that over like so. Next up, it's going to be this highway. And that's absolutely fine. So we'll grab this highway, and the question is, if we were to snap it like this, how straight is that going to be? It's not, is the answer. That is not straight at all, but that's okay, because we're actually looking to lock this to the zone grid here. So, in theory, that will end up coming up over here. Where's that overlapping item? I'm not sure where the overlapping item is, but I'm guessing it's down here. Okay. Well, what we really should do is we should extend these roads out to the city limits, like so. Okay, so we would bring this guy out over here. That looks approximately straight. this out over here, approximately straight. Maybe not perfectly straight. Can you extend out slightly further? Thank you. And then this guy would come out over here. It's approximately straight. And that's all we need, to be honest, is approximate straightness. Now, we can see here, we've got a problem. Specifically, what that problem is that this street is not approximately straight. It's not straight at all. So we need to take this guy out. And instead, this needs to be angled maybe here. But we can see that we definitely have some gaps there. That's probably okay for right now. So that's reasonably straight. This is... it's not perfect, but it's okay. That's possibly fine. This is where we'll really find out, though. Okay. Yeah. This is going upwards a little bit here. We'll need to redo this. So it's when we have these jumps that it's much harder to tell, because there's a couple of different spots where it should be, right? But what if we just brought this guy out like this, and now we can tell? Because we can go here and we can see, well, I mean, it's a little close up here. No doubt about that. Yeah, that's not what we're looking for exactly. So you might ask, what are we looking for? And in reality, we're looking for this. It's just a little bit off. It's probably okay. It's probably okay. It's not going to be perfect, and it doesn't need to be. So we'll just bring all of these roads in like so. That looks pretty good there. This road can come through to about there. And then this one, that looks pretty straight. So does that. That looks solid. So that's pretty much what we're going to have to do. These are going to be a little off, but they'll basically be self-correcting. So that's okay. I don't mind that so much. We can do something along the lines of this. Perfect. So then we bring this one across, and this one, and this one, and this one. That all looks good. Cool. So we should be able to get quite a lot of progress here, in theory. We're definitely making good time here. I like it. So we'll just bring this guy over to about here, and then this guy over to about here. That looks all approximately correct. So next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this guy northward. So from here, we would want to elevate that up. And I want to build this, ideally, snapped like so. I'm going to be keeping an eye on our actual positioning here, which might not be great. I don't think it is great. Yeah, it's getting steadily closer over here. So this is clearly incorrect. Let's just bring this out and get rid of all of that. And let's recreate this starting from here. And I'm going to have all of the snapping be on here. So we're going to put it right there. And we're going to take this at 180 degrees, but snapping to the zone grids. And that will hopefully fix some of these issues. Hopefully. We'll see how that ends up working. This should go about here, approximately here. I don't think this one was straight. No, it wasn't. Okay, so we're going to take that back and bring this guy up to here. That's straight. There we go. Somewhere around here. The zone grids definitely do make things a little awkward. But as long as you're careful, it does broadly work. Although I think that we are drifting off a little bit to the left, but that's reasonably okay. I don't mind that a little bit. As long as it's not too close. Okay, right about there. Excellent. I think this is reasonable. And then drop that there. Okay. So looking at the overall shape of it, yeah, I definitely think it's imperfect, but it's good enough. So next, I'm going to bring this guy over with pretty much the same technique here. So I'm just angling to bring this over about here. Okay. So something along the lines of that should work. Again, it's probably imperfect, but that's okay. I don't mind it. So I'll just bring these guys right on over like so. Yeah, should be fine. And we'll just continue to bring this guy over here. We're going to be developing quite a lot of territory, apparently. This is definitely going to be pretty extensive. Okay, we'll bring this on over to the city limits. There we go. And just need to get this going in a straight-ish line here. I'm not very convinced about these road positions, to be honest. You know, to be honest, I think we'd be better off having it come over from here. That would be a fairly significant undertaking. No doubt about that, especially since we'd have to redo, like, all of these. I think, for the moment, we're going to say it's reasonably okay, but this could definitely be lower. There's no doubt about that. We can go back and address that later if we so desire. For now, I'm just going to proceed. Once again, this feels like it's sitting a little too high in the division here. But I'm not shocked about that. That's all reasonably expected. This one feels okay. I don't think there's a major issue there. Okay, so now we'll just hop straight on down here, and let's see if we can just go through and slap a roundabout into all of these without any issues. Slope too steep to the north here. And slope too steep here as well. So 2 of them had issues. Okay, so we'll come down over here. This is out to the north, so we can just get rid of that. Put in our roundabout, and bring this guy right on in to be about here or so. That'll do. And then we need this one up over here. So what was going on with this one? To the south. Okay. Slap that in there, and get this right back in. That'll do. Cool. So that gets all of that ready to go. Now all we need is our on-off ramps, and that will of course take a little bit. We'll have to do each one of these side highways, and then this one all the way up to there. But that's reasonably fine. Shouldn't be all that extensive. None of these should be particularly difficult to do. So we'll just get started on that. No left turn here or here. Okay. And then this is of course going to be off ramps right up over here. That is a little too wide, I think. Okay, something about like that. And no left turns. Okay, now for this one. Phenomenal. They don't have to be perfect, they just have to be good enough. Functional is what we're going for here. Maybe that's what I should have called it. Instead of Perforopolis, this should have been Functionopolis. That's a terrible name. That is objectively terrible. But it is broadly true. This place is far more functional than it is anything else. But in my opinion, that's the way to go. You make things functional first, and then later, if you feel like it, you can make them pretty. I mean, some people can. I'm not very good at that sort of thing, as I think is evidenced by this particular setup. Excellent. Let's get some off-ramps going up over here. So an off-ramp here and an on-ramp about here. That'll do. No left turns. Cool. And moving on. Okay. So let's bring this guy up to about there or so. And again, that will be good enough for now. Excellent. And bringing this guy out and this guy in. No left turns allowed. Okay, we're definitely making solid progress on this. We've got 3 more of these in this angle to do. So no big deal here. We'll bring this on up. And this might be a problem over here with pillars, but actually, surprisingly, it's not. Okay, we'll take it. So then up over here, this is going to go in over here. There we go. No left turns. Perfect. So that is all fine. Next up is this set. 1 in, 1 out. And no left turns. There we go. And 1 out, 1 in, and no left turns. Perfect. 1 more of these to do, and then we can start on the vertical runs, which that, of course, is going to be pretty extensive as well. We'll have to get a fair amount of those, but no left turn here and no left turn here. There we go. And then out and in. Cool. So no left turn for either of those. There we go. So that's all of that good to go. Next up is, of course, this set going vertically. So in and out.
You're listening to Second Moon, the epitome
there we go.
Of classical
and no left turns.
Wherever you roam.
Perfect. Out and in. No left turns. Next up, of course, in and out. Building these is, I don't know, very zen almost. You just kind of get into a zone, right? But we'll just bring this guy on in. There we go. And moving on. I'm a little concerned about this situation here. We'll see what ends up happening with that. That is in the block that we need it to be in. We'll see how it goes. It may or may not go badly. For now, we'll bring this guy... Ooh, pillar. Okay. I guess we'll bring it in there. Sure. No left turns. And now we'll see what ends up happening with these... With these power lines. Apparently no problem with them whatsoever. Okay. We'll take it. I definitely thought that there would be issues with those power lines. Well, we'll bring this guy in. And this guy out. No left turns. And right up over here. It's a little too far. Out and in. And no left turns. Cool. We are definitely making very rapid progress right now. We'll bring this guy up and this guy down. No left turn here, no left turn here. Okay, now for the off-ramp over here. And the on-ramp. I feel like this is a little too wide. Something about like that is probably a little bit better. No left turns, and how many more of these do we have to do? We are very close to done, actually. So that is looking solid. We'll just grab here and bring that in and out. No left turns. And then up here. In and out. Actually, I did those kind of backwards, but whatever. The directionality of them should be fine. Cool. So that looks magnificent, or, you know, finished anyway. Well, functional anyway. Okay, let's bring this guy out to about... Oh, I hate this so much. This one is in too tight. I think there's no way around that. We're just going to have to bring it in about like this. Okay, there we go. Then we'll have an off-ramp about here. And an on-ramp about here. There we go. No left turns. And then this is our final set here. So this is going to be an on-ramp here and an off-ramp about here. There we go. No left-hand turns. And just like that, that whole area is complete. Magnificent. So next up, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zone a chunk of this at a time. We're not going to zone all of it. We're just going to zone about that much. And we'll see how that ends up going. So that'll be fine for now. We can tick the game forward and we can just fill this in as needed. Of course, we're going to have problems over here with things like neutral. That's all very positive. Okay. Things like schools, things like entertainment, things like internet coverage. We should probably put some radio masts in here. So let's put one in about here, and then one about here, one about here. I'm going to put one out over this way. And then maybe one down here for good measure. Okay, so that should give us internet coverage out in this area. Now what we need to think about is parks, I think. So we can definitely hop into here and grab our small parks. We can put a park here. And like I said before, for the low density housing, it feels about right to have one park per meta block. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to put in one park approximately centrally in each of these meta blocks. So one about here, one about here, and we'll get one in up here for good measure. Okay, so something along the lines of that. Do we see any significant traffic issues? Not at this time. There is a traffic accident over here. Where did that go? There it is. There's a traffic accident over here, but it's not causing any significant issues, so that should be okay. That's a traffic accident as well. I do wonder what's going on with 463 Birdsong Street. Lack of entertainment, unreliable healthcare coverage, high noise pollution, fair enough, walking distance to elementary school. Okay. So there's a fair amount of things there. First things first, we should definitely put in another park up over here. I think that's very clear. There we go. We'll just replace the problematic house with a park. That will fix all of the problems, right? What do we got going on up here? Lack of entertainment. So this is, again, a lack of park issue. Fair enough. I'm taking a look at this, and yeah, there's definitely a lack of parks over here. So we'll just put in a park there and there. This is medium density housing, so 2 parks makes more sense in medium density housing. That should be fine for the moment. We can definitely get rid of these guys. Is this low density? This is low density. Okay, remarkable. I guess we'll still get that second park in there. Cool. So that'll be good for now. Is that industrial demand? Wow. Okay. I didn't expect to see any industrial demand here. I suppose we could toss in a little bit of extra industry up through here. That might solve it. That'll probably be enough industrial, right? I feel like that'll probably be enough industrial. So far that's all looking reasonably good. This building was condemned because it's in the wrong zoning. Okay, we'll just get rid of it. What do we got going on here? Abandoned for no reason at all. Okay, we'll just bulldoze. Hi, pause menu. We'll just bulldoze that. That'll be fine. What do we got going on over here? High noise pollution? I mean, they're right next to the dam, so that does make sense. That does make sense. For now, that seems reasonably fine. I'm not too concerned about that one. So this is all looking reasonably good at this point. We've got a lot of space over here where we can expand our housing, and we're almost certainly going to need to. I am concerned about this interchange. I'm pretty concerned about it, to be honest. Like, if you're coming this way, and you want to go this way, how do you do it? You come down, you take the roundabout, and then you come all the way up to here, you exit, you come over this way, you come back onto the road, and then you take Prospect Highway down, and that's how you do it. That is very inefficient. Arguably, I think that, I don't know if we can fit one in here. If we could fit a ramp from here to here, hang on. I mean, that kind of works. No left turn here. And of course, we're going to have some problems connecting up this road over here. That's definitely not going to go so well. But do we need it to go well? Honestly, do we need that road at all? I don't think we do. So we can just zone this, like that. And that'll at least make things a little bit easier over here. Hopefully, anyway. At any rate, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to keep ticking forward here, filling in this space as necessary. What I'm mostly interested in doing at this point is watching for traffic and maybe starting to actually work on our riverfront over here. That clearly does need work. No doubt about that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time, when hopefully my voice is feeling a little bit better. We'll see.